Greetings, friends. I'm AK,
And I'm Laura,
and we are
the
the
Chainsaw
Chainsaw
Girls.
Girls.
On today's episode, we have a fun one. I'm so excited. This is the first time I ever saw this movie. I can't even believe that. But we are covering 1995's Tales from the Crypt, Demon Night.
Hell yeah. And if it makes you feel any better, I actually saw this for the first time within the past couple years.
Oh, okay. That does make me feel better because I was
But
a little bit embarrassed.
no need to be embarrassed. It's okay. We can't watch all the movies, right? You've
True.
seen so many more than I have, but I have talked to a lot of people who grew up in the 90s who love this movie. It was definitely a
Mhm.
staple for them. And I was so excited to finally be introduced to it. This is the fourth and final movie that we chose for Black History Month this year, even though, yes, it is March. But hey, schedules got a little crazy. We're here, we're doing it.
Yep.
Unlike the other three that all had black leads, this movie also has a black director, Ernest Dickerson, which at this time, he was just one of a handful of black directors in horror since the 70s.
Whoa.
This was also significant for the Tales from the Crypt franchise because the series, which was still running at this time since 1989, barely featured any people of color, especially in the lead roles.
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, but here we have not only a black director, we have a black lead, and I'm going to wait for the end because I don't want to give any spoilers just in case you haven't watched it yet. But we do highly recommend that you watch this movie before listening to the episode because we are going to talk about all the spoilers.
Absolutely. Now, shall I read IMDb?
Please do.
Okie dokie smoky pokey. High level demons collect low level demons as warriors in attempt to obtain a key containing the blood of Christ. The key is guarded by immortal warriors called demon knights.
I love when IMDb drops knowledge on me. Like I knew that's what happened, but the way they just worded it, I didn't think of it like that. The high level and low level demons. But that is
Yeah, I didn't
true.
get that either. As I was reading it, I went, "Oh, okay, that's interesting."
Exactly. As they said it, I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, I see where that happened." Also, I feel like they almost drop a little spoiler in the IMDb
A
with the blood of
little,
Christ.
yes.
Like that's kind
Just
of revealed toward the end.
it's like a big reveal too. Like when it
Yeah.
is, it's like, "What are you saying?" And IMDb's like, "Well, here's what actually happens."
No, for real. In my notes, I was like, "Is this supposed to be Jesus?" Well, now you know. I guess we are giving a spoiler a little early.
Little bit early. Okay, this had a budget of 12 million and it grossed 21 million in the box office.
Hell yeah.
Like you said, it was directed by Ernest Dickerson and it was written by Ethan Reif, Cyrus Voris, and Mark Bishop.
Yeah, this was adapted from the comics from the 1950s. EC Comics, a horror anthology created by William Gaines and Al Feldstein. It was very controversial for the time. In the 40s and the 50s, a lot of media and parents were very against comics, especially the ones that were violent and gory. You know, it's ruining the
Mhm.
youth, etc. type shit.
Right, of course. Hmm.
There's also a 1972 movie under the same name. It was also an adaptation of the comic books. It features the Crypt Keeper narrator, which did come from one of the comics. However, in this movie in 1972, it is not the Crypt Keeper we know today. It was a guy who looked kind of like a monk,
Oh,
a little
okay.
different.
Hmm.
But then the HBO series kicked in 1989 to 1996. It was, of course, an anthology as well. So it had various directors, a lot of famous actors in this series. The one
Yes.
off the top of my head is Tim Curry,
Tim Curry, Demi Moore.
Demi Moore, Whoopi Goldberg, Michael J. Fox, Brad Pitt, so many famous actors throughout this series. I was so scared of Tales from the Crypt as a kid. I was not allowed to watch it. Y'all already know I was not allowed to watch a lot. But when I went over my older cousin's house, there was one night in particular where I think we were all going on some family vacation the next day or something. My cousins, we were all downstairs sleeping in the living room. They put on Tales from the Crypt. I so me and my siblings, we're the youngest out of all the cousins. And so they have always been like the older siblings that I never had because I'm the oldest out of my siblings. And so they're like forcing me to watch it, but not letting me watch it at the same time. So anytime something scary would happen, they would cover my eyes. So there's one episode in particular that traumatized me as a kid. And I think it was worse because they didn't show me the scary part. So now my imagination is running wild. I don't know which would be worse to see it or to not see it. but I didn't see what happened. It was the episode called Television Terror, which in my memory I thought featured Tim Curry. But then when I watched it as an adult, it is not Tim Curry. It's actually Morton Downey Jr. And he's like a news reporter going through a haunted house essentially. But every time something scary was going to happen, my cousins would cover my eyes. And I, of course, still had nightmares. Like, why am I even watching the lead up? That's the scary part, the tension.
The tension, yeah, the build.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a very older cousin thing to do, I
Yes.
think. For
Older
sure.
cousin, older sibling.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
of course, I had to find it as an adult. I'm like, this is a core memory for me. I have to watch this episode and get
Mhm.
it out of my system. And then, of course, watching it now, it's not as scary, but
Sure.
as a
Well, yeah.
child, terrifying.
I was gonna say, I was obsessed with the Crypt Keeper game show, like the kids obstacle course game show.
Wait,
And
what?
yes, exactly. What? I thought I made it up in my head. Like I honestly thought I had created this like TV show that was not real because anytime I brought it up to someone, they looked at me sideways. So I finally looked it up and it was real. I found it on YouTube. I found an episode on YouTube and it was like almost like gladiators, except you were in the Crypt Keeper's like space and you had to do all these like obstacle courses and stuff. It was so cool. I think it was like, it came out in like 90, 95, 96, somewhere in there.
That would make sense because it was so popular on HBO at the time. But
Yeah,
now
and
I
I
need to
wanted to
look
be
this
on
up.
it. I wanted to be on it so bad. Like I wish I could have been on it. It was that would have been like amazing.
I would have wanted to be on it had I known about it as a child. I can't believe, well, I can believe I didn't know about it because I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
I was sheltered from a lot of like scary things as a kid, but
Yeah. I get you.
obsessed. I'm thinking of Legends of the Hidden Temple, but just with the Crypt Keeper instead of Olmec.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, yeah. It's a Nickelodeon thing.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, should we dive into this episode?
Yes, there's only one more thing I wanted to say, and that's just that the Crypt Keeper and Elvira as horror hosts live
Top
rent
tier.
free in my brain and change my brain chemistry from childhood.
100%. I wanted to host so bad because of them. I
Yes.
know.
Like
Yes.
whenever I say greetings, boils, and ghouls in like
Oh,
my posts or my promos or whatever, it is directly aligned from the Crypt Keeper.
oh my God. I love it. It is a dream to be one of those like hosts. I
Yeah.
believe in us. One day. Let's manifest. That would
Manifest.
let's manifest and hop right into Tales from the Crypt Demon
Yes.
Night.
So we start off hot with the Tales from the Crypt intro song and the POV going through the haunted mansion. It ignites something in my fucking soul.
Dude, same.
Also, this soundtrack is bomb.
Oh, it's amazing. I was rocking out to it as well.
Hell yeah.
And like, I don't know about you, but the iconic Tales from the Crypt music, it makes me feel like warm and fuzzy inside.
Oh, always. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's
Yes.
comforting.
It wakes up my cold dead heart, honestly. And the
Same.
Crypt Keeper coming out of the casket at the very end with that cackle and his
Oh,
like 3 strands of hair, that's how I feel when I wake up every morning.
I was like, where are you going with the three strands of hair? I
I
just
just
love
had to
them.
add that in.
I just love those three strands.
His 3 strands, I just wanna brush them. Okay, so I'm sorry. We're already getting slap happy. This is an early episode for us, by the way. That's why I'm a robe guy today. I'm nice and cozy with my little coffee.
Did
Okay,
you call
so
yourself a robe guy?
a robe guy. Yeah, I'm a
A
robe guy.
robe guy. Like that's a thing? I'm a robe
Yeah,
guy today.
I say that all the time on my Twitch. I'm a robe guy today.
Wow. Whew.
So the movie itself, let's get into the movie, starts off in a bedroom. We see bloody clothes strewn all across the floor. There's a woman lying in bed in her underwear talking to someone on the phone. And she's saying, I did it, Jack. I did it. It got me hot. And she sounds so over the top. She almost sounds like a phone sex operator,
Yeah, for
her
sure.
tone and her cadence. She mentions burying an axe in someone's chest and how it was almost better than sex. And she tells the guy on the phone, thinking about it gets me all hot and squishy. And I was like, ew,
Squishy?
squishy.
Squish. I don't squishy girl? What's
No.
getting squishy? Ew. Let's not describe it like that, okay?
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.
She tells him on the phone that the guy she killed is in the basement cooling off, and we see him floating in a tub downstairs. Then, as she's in the bathtub, we see this bloated hand grab the side of the tub in the basement. So now the woman is bathing upstairs, tits out, Jack, who she killed, is now reanimated. He's water bloated. He's walking into the bathroom with an axe. The woman screams, and then we hear, cut! And the Crypt Keeper is the fucking director of this movie.
Okay, his
I was
little
already like,
hat.
what?
His little
His
tiny
hat?
hat. It's like what is it called? A beret? Is it called a
I don't
beret?
even know what kind of hat that is.
It's very 90s and it's very he looks like a little director.
If there's one thing the Crypt Keeper is gonna do besides cackle, it is have a full cosplay.
Oh, fully. I mean, and he looks great. Let's be real. He really
Looks
does.
fantastic. 3 strands of hair brushed back. He is just ready to go. And he's like, "What the hell are you doing?" They show him walking, which was so weird because in the show, he's usually just a puppet or an animatronic. He's just stationary. He's moving, but he's not walking. So
Yeah.
seeing him walking, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is
Me too.
odd."
It threw me off. And the way he was walking, kind of like a horse. Like he kind of just had like a weird swagger to him. I was like, oh, this is weird, man.
Yeah, because I imagine it was some level of CGI,
For
right?
sure, for sure. But imagine how skinny his little legs are.
They're just bones.
Little
Cindy, that's just bones.
bones.
So he's degrading this actor who's playing Jack. And Jack goes, "Where the hell did they dig this guy up?" That's another thing about Tales from the Crypt is they will have dad jokes galore.
Oh, yeah. Lots of puns.
Yeah. So Crypt Keeper now addresses us, the viewers. "Hello, kitties." And he shows us what he's been working on, very much like the opening of each TV show episode. And I loved this opening.
Me
They
too.
start off hot, they grab our attention, and they're staying true to the show's actual opening.
Yes.
Then he tells us frights, camera action, and we see the comic book open. He says, "I call this one Demon Night." And now we're
Oh,
into the movie, the
so cool.
actual movie.
What an opening, eh?
So good.
Yes.
So in Demon Night now, we're on a long, dark stretch of road, and Hey Man, Nice Shot is playing.
Dude,
The
I lost
tone
it.
is fucking set.
Like, as soon as that song came on, I was like, brother, we are strapped in and strapped the fuck on.
Yes.
So
I
good.
love how I'm always forgetting to say that too. And you remind me. I'm like, oh yeah, strap in and strap on. I never realized how sexy this song is in the beginning of it.
Dude, right?
I
So
was like,
hot. So sexy. So we're gonna find out here that this is Breaker. Okay. Breaker's played by William Sadler. He was actually in a couple of Tales from the Crypt episodes. One was The Man Who Was Death, and the other one was The Assassin.
mm,
Yes, yes. And Breaker here, I would say this is like kind of winding roads,
yeah.
right? And we see here that a car is following him, right? The song's playing. Oh my God, it's so good. And then Breaker's car starts to break down, kind of out of nowhere. It starts to break down.
Yeah.
He veers off the road. He tries to get out of the car with like a huge shotgun. And then we see Billy motherfucking Zane, also in a Tales from the Crypt episode in 1993 called Well Cooked Hams. But can I just say, right off the hop, he is one sexy man.
Billy Zane and the 90s.
Girl,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, you can be a demon, baby. That's totally fine with me. Like,
I feel like Billy Zane reminds me of, I don't know if this is weird to say or if people are gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I feel like in the 90s, Billy Zane and Brendan Fraser were like hot toddies. You know what I
oh,
mean?
smoke shows. Smoke shows. And Billy Loomis from Scream.
Yes.
Skeet Ulrich. Still to this day. I have a huge picture of him as soon as you walk into my house, and it says, "You look like you've seen a ghost," and he's licking his fingers. He's licking blood off his fingers, like as
Oh
soon as you
yeah.
walk into my house.
Oh yeah. I've seen it.
Oh yeah, you have.
But yeah, Frank. So it's so funny you call him Breaker. I know they call him Breaker throughout the movie. I at first kept writing Frank throughout all of my notes. I love how that always happens. I'm just
Right?
like Frank. But yeah, Breaker uh pulls out that shotgun and he swerves because he realizes he's running out of gas, right?
Mhm.
He swerves into the road, so he's like perpendicular. Never thought I'd have to use that word in real
Ooh,
life.
great
Starts
choice.
shooting at the collector's car. We're gonna find out that Billy Zane is the collector.
Mm-hmm.
The car catches fire, the collector's does. He keeps driving. Frank jumps out of his car at the last second. The car gets T-boned. They both explode. I don't know the logistics of if that happens to cars. I know, like, especially in the 90s with shooting things and them blowing up, it's not always like accurate, but whatever. They
Yeah, I'm
all
not sure.
explode, okay?
They all do.
Breaker starts running away, limping. He looks at his palm. There are four little stars on it, and there's another one now appearing. And every time they show it, there's this wildcat sound effect in the background. It made me
Yeah.
feel like Sable was about to make her entrance. Like, okay, get it, girl. So he keeps running, and we see a sign that says, Welcome to Wormwood, New Mexico. So that's where they're at. He sneaks over to this cafe, tries to steal a car. This is
Did
Breaker, by the way.
Did you see the name of the cafe?
Yes, I didn't
The
write it
ha-
down.
the Halfway House
Yes.
Cafe.
Yeah.
Like, what a name. I love that.
Which is why when he does get to the next place, I thought that was a halfway house. I don't think it is. It's like more like a boarding house, right?
Yeah, or I thought it was a hotel.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
boarding
a
house, hotel.
yeah.
Um, but when he gets to this cafe, he's sneaking and trying to steal a car. And this kid, who we'll find out later is Danny, sees him. Danny looks like a real life good guy doll, but with long blonde hair. His
Shit, I did
face,
not wow. I
if you
did
just
not
look at
catch
his
that.
face,
Yeah.
it's bizarre to me.
Whoa, okay.
Frank, or Breaker, offers this kid a shiny quarter to shut the hell up and leave him
Mhm.
alone. Danny starts screaming for his dad that someone is trying to steal his car. Like, even for 95, he was like, a quarter in this economy?
Yeah.
So the dad runs out with, the dad is a worker in the cafe, and seemingly the child's mother is also. I feel like I'm wording this so weird, but whatever. I'm just going to go with it. The two
Uh-huh.
workers run out. Those are Danny's parents, along with Roach.
Oh god, I can't wait till we get to
I
Roach.
fucking hate Roach, but we just see him for a moment here, played by Thomas Hayden Church.
Mhm.
The dad, his name is Homer. That will come into play later. So that's two roaches, by the way, that we just covered in this loop.
Oh wow, that
The
is
people
true.
under the stairs also had
Mhm.
a roach.
Mhm.
So Breaker gets away. He gets into this building. He gets scared by Willie, played by Dick Miller, who we have talked
Yes.
about so much in this podcast.
So
We
many
just
times.
talked about him in Gremlins, Night of the Creeps. He's in so many movies we haven't even covered yet.
Yep. Yep.
Icon.
He's the best.
Now, Breaker asks Willie if he knows a place he can basically go for the night. Meanwhile, cops are now at the scene of the crime.
Yes, we're introduced to Sheriff Tupper, and he was actually the actor John Schlock. Schluck. He was Herman Munster in the reboot in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yes, and I didn't get Bob's last name, but Bob is the other officer.
Yes.
I loved Bob.
I loved Bob too. I thought he was a different actor at first. We'll get into that maybe in the extended.
But I just thought their conversation was very funny. Like
Yes.
Bob is like basically like saying things that are very obvious and just like about the crime, what will happen, about the cars. And it's just like the way that the sheriff was responding to him was just
Yeah.
very comical. They were definitely like the comedic relief here, right?
Right. Like the sheriff
Uh
tells Bob, it's too late to give him a ticket, but if it makes you feel any better, you can shoot their ashes.
e- exactly, exactly. It's hilarious, right? Then the collector walks away from the exploding car and he acts all like nonchalant about it.
He's unscathed.
Yes, it's just like, yep, the car blew up and I'm fine. But he tells them that the man that he's chasing down is dangerous and the dude is bad news.
Hmm. He also has a suitcase in his hand. So here we cut back to Breaker being led to the, I want to say halfway house. It's not, to the boarding house, to the hotel by Willie. We see Breaker's palm again. He now has 7 stars on it and they're in a circle.
Hmm.
We meet Irene at the desk,
Mm-hmm.
and she says that she never rents short term and she doesn't rent to strangers. But then he flashes a wad of cash, and of course, she's like, I can make exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Irene is played by CCH Pounder, or Carol Christine Hilaria Pounder.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Avatar, NCIS, The Shield, uh, X Files,
Oh,
ER.
she has a ton of credits. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
she is a badass.
Oh, hell yeah, she is.
Also in this hotel is Cordelia, played by Brenda. I apologize for not knowing how to pronounce this. I looked it up and I kept finding conflicting information. It's either Brenda Back or Brenda Backy,
Okay.
or a third option that someone's going to correct me on. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Hot Shots, is off the top of my head, who is sizing Breaker up.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Irene calls for Geraldine, played by Jada Pinkett, before the Smith was added. This
Yep.
was 2 years before she married Will Smith. This was 1 year before Nutty Professor, which gave her her like big break. But Geraldine is also a fucking badass. We will find out.
Hell
Jada
yeah.
Pinkett has the short blonde hair in this movie. She has like this cut off tank top.
Oh, she is
She
a
just,
badass final girl.
yes.
Yeah.
So Geraldine, I saw other people pronouncing her name differently, Geraldine, Geraldine, but in this movie, Irene calls her Geraldine multiple times, so that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too. Yeah.
And now Geraldine has to show Breaker up to his room, and she has to make him dinner, which I thought was interesting. So Geraldine is kind of like Irene's assistant.
Yeah, I think she takes care of things in the hotel. Like it seems
Yeah,
like she's in charge of like flipping the rooms,
yeah,
cooking, but I feel like her and Irene take turns with the cooking and stuff like that.
yeah.
Mhm.
So Cordelia is talking to a guy named Wally who just got fired from the post office, and everyone seems to know each other here. Like Irene said, she doesn't really usually rent to strangers.
No,
So
and
Wally,
also I'm
oh,
so
go ahead.
sorry to hop in. I just wanted to give a small fun fact about
Yes, please
Wally.
do.
Charles Flesher, he was in an episode of Tales from the Crypt as well, called Werewolf Concerto.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I want to watch the entire series now. I was going to say in order, but it's an anthology, so I guess that doesn't matter.
Just to like
But
find all these actors and be like, "Oh yeah, this person, this person, this
yeah,
person," right? Yeah.
that would be a fun little side quest for us actually to
It
do
actually would.
Tales from the Crypt episodes.
Yeah. So fun.
Ideas. Okay. So Wally clearly has a little crush on Cordelia, who by context clues in the scene we can gather she is a sex worker.
Uh-huh.
Wally offers to take her sheets up to her room because Geraldine is busy, and Cordelia says to Irene, maybe I'll give him a freebie. And Irene says just what he needs, someone else screwing him.
Yikes.
Wow. Now the collector is in the back of the police car. I mean, he did just get into a crazy accident, right? And they believe he was going over 100 miles per hour, but
Mhm.
they're bringing him along to help find this other guy
Yeah.
at this time
Oh,
anyway.
and also, the collector, we didn't really describe what he looks like. He's dressed like a cowboy right now. He's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
dressed like a cowboy sheriff. He's got like a big old cowboy hat, a big duster jacket. He's got
Mhm.
like jeans and like cowboy boots, and it's all very, yes, cowboy. He's trying to fit in.
Yeah, he is trying to fit in, yes.
Hmm.
So over the radio, the cops learn that there was also a stolen car. So the collector is telling the cops that Breaker stole something extremely valuable from him.
Mm.
Now we're back at the hotel. We keep cutting back and forth, right?
Yep.
Back at the hotel, it looks like Breaker is eating ketchup and guacamole. I don't know what the hell he was eating. It looked disgusting.
It looked so gross. Like, it just looked like
Listen,
slop to me. I don't know.
yeah,
Godspeed.
that's kind of what how they're describing it too.
Yeah.
Cordelia gets on the table and says she'll take care of dessert. She's really trying to seduce Breaker.
Yeah.
And this black cat named Cleo jumps up on the table. Irene walks by and says, "Get that pussy off the table." And Cordelia jumps down, like, oh. I was like,
I
okay,
know, it's
yes.
great.
I'm here for all this.
Like all the humor, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, someone's pulling up to the hotel. They hear someone driving up, honking their horn, and in walks Roach. We're going to
Yikes.
learn more about him, more than we want to know,
I
honestly.
fucking hate this man
Yeah.
with like the flames of a thousand suns. Like I just hate him.
I'm sure I can speak for you too that we hate him more than we hate the actual antagonists in this movie, like the demons.
Oh, I would way rather be friends with fucking Billy Zane the collector than Roach. Want to run him over with my car.
No, for real. So he immediately starts kissing Cordelia. She starts taking him upstairs as Willie is walking by with her sheets, all sad.
Oh, Wally, you mean?
Oh, yeah. Who did I say?
Willie
Oh,
Dick
there's
Miller.
a Willie and a Wally, but yes, Wally, the post office worker, ex post office
Wally.
worker.
Oh,
Wally.
Wally.
I'm like, why'd y'all have to do a Willie and a Wally?
I know, right? We're already confused. Why you gotta confuse us more?
Right. Now at the cafe, the cops are getting more info from Homer, and Irene calls the police station. So they radio to the cops and they learn where Breaker is.
Right. And also important to note that Roach is connected to, yeah, like the guy's car that was getting stolen. Like they're all like connected.
Yeah, I think he worked for Homer at the
Right. So
cafe.
so there's like some kind of connection there.
Yep. Now back at the hotel, Roach and Cordelia are making noises that would make me go, I don't know if they're fucking or fighting.
I felt the exact same way. I was like, I've never heard sex like this in my life, and I don't think I've ever made sounds like that. And we get why. We're gonna understand why for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I would be like, "Do I need to go check on them? Like, I don't wanna be nosy, but are you okay? I wanna make sure you're not getting beat up."
I also don't need to perform for other people in a hotel. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
I
I
mean,
don't need to do that.
some people like that, I guess.
I mean, go out to a fucking cabin in the woods. Like, nobody wants to hear that, okay?
But at this moment, in walks the cops with the collector. Breaker ends up grabbing Geraldine, puts a knife to her throat because they know each other. The collector and Breaker do.
Mhm,
The collector says, "I know he won't do it." Breaker does end up dropping the knife, and then the cops put him in handcuffs. They find an ID that says Frank Breaker.
mhm.
Irene's pissed because when he checked in, he told her his name was Mr. Smith, which I think she already knew because she was giving him like the side eye.
Was that like a little nod to Will Smith?
I don't think so because
Okay.
they didn't get married for another couple years.
Oh,
They might
okay,
have been
okay.
dating.
I don't know. I just when she said Smith, I just went, "Oh." Also, I don't know if we mentioned this, but like we find out that Jerry Lynn,
Geraldine.
uh Geraldine,
Either way.
she was in prison at some point, or she's on
Yes.
parole, or she's on there's something and I think Irene gave her like a place to sort of start over. So I think
Right.
that's the connection there, and I feel like that's kind of important because
Yeah.
here when Breaker has her by the throat with the knife, we'll later find out that she wasn't really that scared of him.
Yeah.
They have some kind of understanding, and you can
Mhm.
see that understanding very early on, like pretty much in their first encounters. There's some kind of vibe there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So the collector tells the cops what he stole must be in his pockets. So they search his pockets, they don't find it. They think it might be in his room. He tells them it's an antiquity, a relic in the shape of a key.
Hmm.
So Bob goes to search his room, doesn't find anything. Then he hears Roach and Cordelia in the next room over. You can tell he knows what's going on because he has this little smirk on his face, but he draws his gun and starts walking toward the room. Like, why did you draw your gun?
Yeah, it's a bit
He
much.
burst into the room, like pointing his gun at them. In this room, Cordelia has Roach handcuffed to the bed and his nipples are clamped to a car battery.
Yeah, he's into it. He's really
Look,
into it.
as long as everyone is a consenting adult, I don't kink shame, but there you go. There you have it.
Hey man, whatever you're into, I suppose. Roach though, ew.
Knowing
Just
who
ew.
Roach is, we're like, "Ugh, fuck you, Roach."
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, ew, can you just electrocute him? Just go all the way up. Just fry
Just
his
don't turn
ass.
it off.
Yeah.
So Bob, yeah, he has his gun drawn. He makes him get dressed and go downstairs. Bob just seems like a fucking idiot.
Oh, he's just a bumbling idiot. Yeah, he
Yeah,
is. But he has a good heart. He has a really good
it
heart.
does. Yeah, that's true. He does.
He does. I mean,
So
listen, we find out he has a great heart by the end of the film. Like,
that's true. That's very true. So
mhm.
the sheriff says, according to their records, Frank Breaker died over 5 years ago. So they're trying to figure out who this Breaker actually is. They're about to take him to jail, but the collector says, I'd appreciate if I can get what was stolen from me so I can be on my way, which makes sense. Willie remembers where it was. He says, I watched him stash it. I didn't even realize it. And Breaker's trying to tell him, no, no, no. But Willie does grab it. It's like taped under a table or something.
Mhm.
It's this giant amulet it does resemble a key and it has 7 stars in a circle as well.
Mhm. It almost looks like a jar, like it has like a lid on it, or like
Yeah.
a yeah.
Yeah, because it is full of something.
Mhm.
The collector opens a suitcase. There's a perfectly shaped spot for this key. And he tells Willie, oh, he put something awful inside it. Will you dump that out before putting it inside? And Frank is trying to tell Willie no, but he's going to do it anyway. The sheriff ends up grabbing it away from Willie. I'm like, thank you for having some type of authority in the situation. Like, we're gonna go down to the station. Both those cars were stolen. So, collector, you're coming with us, and we're gonna figure this out at the station. The sheriff has a gun to collector's back. They're walking out the door, and the collector says, why wait? He turns around. He punches a hole through the sheriff's head. This is
Dude,
insane.
why I don't know what this says about me, but why in my notes did I write, "Holy shit, He just punched him right through the fucking head. Oh my god, Billy Zane is hot as fuck.
I love that that's where your notes went. I also love that you're just typing out your thoughts. Like,
Oh, yeah,
oh my god,
that's my whole notes or my thoughts.
that's amazing.
But come
Fucking
on,
hot.
listen. I like a strong man. What can I say?
That is some level of strength, let me tell you. And also now the sheriff's body is hanging from the collector's arm, and he's trying to get it off, and he can't get it off. He's wearing him like a fucking bracelet.
Okay, can I also point out something that I love about this film? A
Yes,
lot of it is improvised. Like the
really.
direct Dickerson allowed them to have fun, to play. I have a whole bunch of notes on it, but there was so much improvisation. And Billy Zane is witty as hell. A lot of his lines are him. Like we'll
Love a
see in
witty
a few
guy.
minutes. What's that?
Sorry. Say it again. I said love a witty guy.
I love a witty boy too. We're getting to a part where he's going to be taking his duster jacket off. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, let's
Yep.
get there and I'm gonna give you some notes.
Hell yeah. I love that. So yeah, he's trying to get the sheriff's body off of his arm. He ends up punching Breaker because Breaker's now like yelling at Bob, like, give me the keys, give me the keys. He wants to get out of the handcuffs. When he runs over to the collector punches Breaker with the head, it looks like. Then he yells, heads up, tosses the head to Bob. The collector grabs Frank. I'm going to say Frank and Breaker throughout this, by the throat, but Breaker puts the amulet to his face and it seems to burn him.
Mhm.
So then the collector jumps out of a window and has that full crash out about his human cowboy form.
Okay, improvised. That was
The whole thing.
improvised. Yes, because
That's so funny.
they needed to get him out of the cowboy stuff. So that's what he came up with, Billy Zane came up with, and freaked out, and that is a full-blown crash out. I mean, he's ripping his jacket off and, like, throwing it on the ground, and he's just losing his shit over the cowboy gimmick and just, like, yelling out things about how stupid it is. He, like, takes the hat off. It's
And like
fantastic.
mocking it, like, hoo, like, like, why did I choose this stupid form?
It's literally me crashing out on TikTok, like, every few weeks.
It's me wanting to crash out if my robe gets stuck on like a door handle.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
13th reason,
or you get
for
too
sure.
hot. This is
Oh,
fucking
just
stupid.
ripping it me in the Atlanta airport, just ripping my clothes off because it's so hot in there. It's like hell.
But yeah, he has a full crash out. It makes so much sense that now that you told me that that there's so much that's improvised
Mhm,
because it shows.
mhm.
So much of the dialogue feels so natural. That crash out felt very real.
Yes, it did.
And he says, this property is hereby condemned. He has this long ass gross pinky nail now. He cuts open his other palm with it, which oozes this green glowing goo. He
Yes,
starts
which was from glow
tossing it.
sticks.
Glow sticks?
Glow sticks, yeah, that's from the inside of glow stick. That's what they used.
That makes sense. He
Mhm.
tosses it all around in the dirt as everyone inside watches, and all this goo starts bubbling and turns into demons.
Eee! They're
The
so
prac-
nasty.
the
They're
practical
so gross.
effects.
Oh, unreal.
Yes, the practical effects in this movie are so good. There was very little CGI, very little computer generated imagery in this movie. Like there's glowing eye effects,
Mhm.
the glowing on the hand when the stars are forming,
Right.
the lightning, that type of shit. But most of this movie was done with practical effects, so puppets, prosthetics,
The
slime.
best. The
So
best.
good.
Yeah. My fave.
The demons are surrounding the house now, starting to jump through the windows. Frank is shooting them, and this green lightning is shooting out of them, of their eyes.
Mhm.
And then they like fly out the window. He's able to pour something out of that amulet that IMDb kind of already spoiled, but at this point, he's just pouring something out of the amulet that creates a force field that's keeping the demons out. So they're still trying to reach through windows and grab people. Breaker's able to seal off all the doors and windows. He's walking around doing that. Roach is telling Cordelia, hey, we can run outside. We can make it to my car. Let's run. And Wally's trying to tell Cordelia, don't go, don't go. She follows him out on the porch anyway, because I think she's trying to tell him not to go too.
She's trying to stop him. She's like, don't go, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. Yeah.
But a demon jumps out, ends up grabbing Cordelia. Roach runs back inside like a little bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Wally goes outside to save her. And he's trying to shoot the demon, but it's not having any effect. Like he's shooting it in the head, and it's just I was gonna say just kind of standing there. And then Breaker tells him it's the eyes. You have to shoot the eyes,
Right.
which
So we got some lore here.
Yes. At least with zombies, you have a bigger target with the head for the brain, right? But eyes, like you
Oh,
better
I'd be
be a
fucked.
sharpshooter.
Oh, I don't even know how to shoot a gun. I would be fucked.
That's such a small target.
Mhm.
But he shoots him in the eyes. Good thing he knows how to shoot. Lightning goes out of the eyes. It zaps Wally. Yes, I'm saying the
Yeah.
right one. Wally
Mhm.
into the wall. They're able to drag him into the house, and Cordelia's tending to him. He does wake up, and Frank tells them these are worse than demons, which I think is just him saying that because they are demons. It's demon night, right?
Right, right, right. Maybe they're just more aggressive, these, like, little spawns.
Yeah. And he says there are only two things we can use against them: the blood that's in this key, or anything that attacks their eyes. It frees their tortured souls.
Huh.
Now, Geraldine is like, I have to get my cat relatable. Okay, you want to make sure your cat's okay.
Was it Cleo?
Cleo, yeah. And then Breaker tells her, if you leave, you got to stay out. He's very serious about this. Like he
Yeah.
can't help you if you leave.
Yep.
And Roach is like, what are you gonna do? Shoot us? And Breaker says, yeah, right in the eyes.
Yep.
He ain't
Mhm.
fucking around.
Yeah,
So
because he
now,
also Breaker does also tell them, I think he tells Roach somewhere in here that if the demons will possess them. The demons
yeah,
will possess them. So
yeah.
that's why he's saying like you can't go outside, they're going to possess you, and
Hmm.
he'll shoot them in the eyes if they do. Yep.
So Breaker goes upstairs. He continues sealing off the windows. There's this light coming through a stained glass window that looks like a cross, like it's reflecting a cross on the wall. It sends Breaker into a flashback of a crucifixion. And this is where I was like, I don't know if one of these guys is supposed to be Jesus.
I wrote in my notes we see Jesus on the cross and a man look back at a demon in a cloak.
Yep, that's what happens. So we're
Yep.
going to see pieces of what's going on here. There are multiple men on crosses here, and then
Mhm.
there's one man who also looks like he could be Jesus or of that time on the ground. So that's where I was like, okay, I don't know which one's supposed to be Jesus, but
Mhm.
we'll find out. It is one on the cross, right?
Yes. Yep. It is. It is for sure.
Okay. So uh Geraldine snaps Breaker out of this, and she's trying to help him. She wants to go up there and see if he needs help. He apologizes for before with the whole knife thing, and this is where we find out that she believes that he wasn't going to hurt her, which I feel like that's a big ask right there, but like you
It's a big
mentioned,
tell for sure that somewhere in her she knew that he
yeah,
was good, you know?
yeah. Or maybe
Yeah.
there was even a deeper connection there. There was some type of
Maybe.
something going on. We'll see.
Mhm.
So she wants to know who he really is, and he says, I'm just an old man running out of time.
Mhm.
So now downstairs, Cordelia is telling Roach to go fuck himself. Now she knows who her real friends are, talking about Wally.
Okay, this line sent me into orbit. He says to her, "Whores have no friends."
Yeah.
Girl, I was like, "Fuck." Like I already was like hating on him, but now I'm like, I can't wait till this guy gets his fucking dick ripped off.
I
I
was
can't
like,
wait.
well, go get your dick stuck in a light socket because that's the only way you can get off anyway, bitch. That's what I wanted to
Exactly.
say.
We hate him.
But they take the sheriff's body and head, move him into a different room. They put him in a bathtub. Irene and Geraldine go make coffee because it's going to be a long night. So they're in the kitchen. Keo. I was going to say Kiko, I think, my puppy.
Aw.
Cleo, the cat, comes into the kitchen, and Geraldine is happy she found the cat, but Breaker is like, hell no, animals can be possessed too, just like people. So he's trying to get the cat. Geraldine's like, hell no. There's a 1 second close up of Jada Pinkett holding this cat while it's hissing, and she makes this face like at in that moment. I want to know how that was filmed. I tried to look it up and I couldn't find anything, but she was
Like,
really holding that cat.
do you think the cat in real life was just like tired of maybe that was like a real reaction?
I think it was a real reaction. That's why I'm
Yeah.
very curious how they made that cat hiss.
I
And it
mean,
was
maybe the
only
cat
for
was
a
already
second.
pissed. Maybe the cat didn't
Yeah.
want to be held, right? Maybe that's
Yeah.
how they got her to hiss.
And I wonder if the cat was scratching her because she made a face like, "Ugh," I don't know, or
Yeah.
she was just doing, I don't know. I was just very curious and I couldn't find anything
I
explaining it.
did I did like not for this movie, but like other movies and TV shows that have cats in them. I remember reading a few times that working with cats is very challenging and you get
Yeah.
scratched and stuff. I want to say it was New Girl. I feel like I saw someone on the set of New Girl was talking about the cat and just not loving having a cat on set.
Interesting. Like with
Mhm.
my cats, I've never they only really hiss at dogs, I've learned.
Yeah.
And I've never been holding them while they're hissing. Like, usually if I'm
Oh,
holding them, they're more relaxed, but I'm also like, they know
yeah.
me, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
But, it's just interesting. Hissing is usually a warning. It's not necessarily like I'm angry, it's more like back off. So,
Right.
I don't know. I was just curious because I am a
Yeah.
cat person.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, Breaker chases this cat down to the basement. Meanwhile, Roach is confronting Wally. Roach wants to get the key and give it to the things out there. Of course he does. Why what else would Roach be doing, right?
He has no brain cells, man. He's electrocuting them out of his fucking head.
He literally is. So no, out of his nipples. So he Cordelia walks up and Roach says, I'm trying to talk to my friend Wally here. And Cordelia says, assholes don't have friends.
Yes, girl. Yes,
Bitch.
girl. Fuck this
Then
guy.
Roach is like, can I talk to you in the other room? I would be like, no, you can't take me separately away from people. The fuck? But she
No.
goes into this other room. He basically tells her that he will kill her if she gets in his way. She tells him she's not afraid of him and he fucking slaps her.
Yeah,
Okay.
he sucks.
Now in the basement, Cleo jumps into Geraldine's arms. Frank, I thought he was pouring some blood onto the cat, but maybe he was just putting the amulet up to the cat since he does touch it to people.
Yeah.
But either way, it doesn't react, so the cat is not possessed. And they notice a little breeze down there, and that must be where Cleo came from. So they're looking at what's going on. And we keep cutting back now to Cordelia and the basement. But Cordelia is alone in her room crying.
Very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And the collector obviously sees this and as an opening, right? So
Yeah.
a hand leans in and grabs her shoulder, but when she turns around, it's gone. So it comes from behind, right? And then we hear the collector talking to her and comforting her, right? He's kind of taking on this sweet persona. He's sweet talking the shit out of her, basically, right? And this girl is clearly starved for like real affection and loyalty and, I would say a whole lot of other things. But he's inside her head. He's standing outside the window and he's looking like Mr. Right, again, hot as fuck. So she starts to let him in as he reaches for her. And he just keeps saying, like, let me in, right?
Yeah.
Then Wally knocks on the door, okay? And he kind of lets himself in. And our gal, Cordelia, is sitting on the bed looking, quite frankly, possessed as hell, right? She says hello to Wally and tells him that she's avoided the men that really loved her and knows that Wally really, really loves her and always has. So basically she's saying, like, I've avoided men that are good to me and love me, and I went for the wrong men, right? And now I know that and I'm going for you, Wally, and blah blah blah.
Which I'm sure is true.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. Yeah, I think so too. And he says to her that he knew after the very first time that he like delivered her mail. And like that is so fucking sweet.
It's sweet, but it also I'm so conflicted about stuff like that, but maybe I'm just being a Debbie Downer because I feel like that I'm like taking it to a side note. I don't believe in love at first sight. I don't. I believe in lust at first sight. I believe in attraction. I believe in connection or spark or whatever people want to call it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you just delivered her mail, you don't know her. You can't love her. You had a crush on her, Wally. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. But
I think
I
it's
know
like
that's like such a
connection.
downer, but
No, I think it's connection. I think,
yeah,
Wally obviously has a huge thing for her. So
yes. But
limerence is a real thing, right? Like he
limerence, yeah,
thinks he loves her, but there's
yeah.
a connection there, right? And
I
I
mean,
just thought, listen, I don't think you should say that out loud personally. It's not something I would say out loud. That's an inside thought.
yeah.
But I think Wally thinks that it's a huge, like, I've loved you for so long.
I
I knew
loved you.
since
Yeah.
the first time I saw you. It's like,
Because
oh,
you know
bro.
what? Maybe it did turn into a loving feeling once he got to know her better in this hotel or whatever. But like
Yeah.
the second you saw her, you delivered her mail, whatever you were feeling was superficial because you don't know her.
Well,
But
yeah,
anyway,
of
it doesn't matter.
course.
It was still sweet. It was still
I
sweet.
thought it was sweet. Listen, the bar is currently in hell. I don't know if any of you out there know that. But this is just a very nice thing to say
Yes,
when you've been told things that aren't so fucking as nice.
absolutely.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm like, actually, he's fucking
No,
wrong. No, I
it's
just felt
fine.
like I don't know. I put it in my notes and I just wanted to say it, but I agree with you as well.
Listen, you can say what you want to say, my friend. She starts kissing him though, so apparently it worked on her.
Yeah, or at least on the possessed version of her.
Mm-hmm.
We cut back to the basement and they realize that through the wall there's a mine shaft. So
Mm.
now all of them pretty much want to escape that way. And Breaker is like, look, you're safer in this house. As Wally starts screaming from upstairs.
Yep.
So they go check it out. And Cordelia is a fucking demon now and she is eating Wally.
Ew, her tongue is so
Oh
long.
my gosh.
Ooh.
Her tongue sticking out, the effect, it's so gross. Her neck starts to stretch.
Ew.
Also, practical effects here.
Yuck.
Irene tries to stop. She tries to use the blood on her, and Cordelia, or the demon version, grabs Irene's arm, breaks it against the door, and then rips it off, which breaking it against the door made me react more than her just ripping her arm off because that feels so ridiculous, right? Like, oh, she ripped her whole arm off, but seeing it break
Yeah.
against something, ugh,
No, so gross. Because I think that's more visceral, right? Like a lot of us have broken bones.
it's more realistic.
It's more realistic than having your arm ripped off. I don't know what that
Yeah.
feels like, but I know what it feels like to break a bone.
Ooh, yeah. Breaker blows Cordelia's head off. And then her eyeballs go flying and they're still moving on the ground. So Breaker has to shoot them too.
I think it's a great detail, man.
I do too. You already set the rules. We know that the eyes are what's important. So if they're not damaged, I love that.
Yep.
Geraldine is now like, we got to get Irene out of here or she's going to bleed out.
Mm-hmm.
And Roach is telling them all now that he wants to give the demons the key. And Breaker is like, I will fucking kill you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Breaker tells them all, if you go out there, I cannot help you. And now Roach is trying to take down that wall of the mine shaft with a sledgehammer. Breaker goes into another crucifixion flashback. In this one, we learn that the blood from that key, or rather the person, Jesus, I guess, uh, burns the demons.
Right.
So Roach gets that wall open
Mm-hmm.
and makes Willie go first, like the coward he is.
Oh, I hate when he does that. And I love Willie.
I know. Willie, he Dick Miller, he has such a great empathetic
Mm-hmm.
face when he
He
wants
does.
to. There's a
Yeah.
scene we're gonna get to soon where I felt really sad
Yeah. I think I know
watching
what you're
him. But
talking
anyway,
about. Yeah.
we'll get there. So as Breaker goes into the mine shaft, he seals that opening between the mine shaft and the house.
Right.
Geraldine finds Danny, the kid from earlier, in the mine. He's sitting kind of scared in the mine. We find out his parents from the diner have been possessed, and now everyone is running back to the house away from them.
Mm-hmm.
So when they get
Yeah.
to the house, they get through that sealed passageway. The demons can't get through. Roach grabs a shotgun and he says, "This is for 4 years of minimum wage, you asshole." And Breaker's trying to tell him, "No."
Oh.
Roach shoots Homer, the guy from the cafe. The lightning from his eyes shoots out. The seal is broken. Roach
Mm-hmm.
shot through the seal, essentially, is I think what it was. Either that or the lightning broke it. Either way, the seal is broken.
Yeah. I
Now
think
all
it
the
was the
demons can
shot.
get in.
It had to have been the shot, right? Like,
That's what I thought.
yeah.
So Danny gets in there too. That's the kid. He tells the man that the collector, oh, I'm sorry. He tells them that the man who is the collector came back and got his parents and he ran away. That's how we got into the mine. Because of course they're like, is this kid possessed too? So Breaker puts the amulet to his head. He's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Breaker is now having more flashbacks now to the battlefield of World War One, because later he'll say this was in 1917. We see that a soldier was shot and is dying. He ends up putting his own blood into the amulet and gives it to Frank, who now, as he touches it, is seeing the truth of everything that happens before, like with the crucifixion. The stars appear on his hand, but they're not in a full circle yet, but they're there, not going into that formation. And he's telling them all this too now. We're seeing it, but he's also like, all right, y'all want to know? I'm about to drop this lore on you.
Yeah.
And he tells them that no, there are only 5 of you. They need seven stars, 7 people. He tells them how he didn't ask for this. The long story short is that this is the seventh and final key that the demons need to take over the world, and the blood inside is the blood of Jesus himself.
Oh,
Like that
yes.
was
It
a
goes.
big lead. It was a big lead up to that revelation or that confirmation.
That's right. God put the blood of Jesus in the key, and a thief named Sirach, I guess got the amulet at some point.
Yeah. He does say that most of the blood in there is from that soldier now because so whoever's like the chosen one, now their blood is, I guess, powerful as they pass it on.
Yes, and the soldier's name is Dickerson, which is a nod to the director, Ernest Dickerson.
Yeah.
Love that.
So Willie asks a very logical question. What happens when you run out of blood?
Right.
And Breaker says they bring back the darkness. And then he's like, now do
Yeah.
you feel better? No, I don't feel better. Actually, I feel worse.
I know, exactly. And I was kind of like Roach here, like steps up and is like, man, you got balls and you're like a hero. And he like offers him a handshake. And as it was happening, I was like, is this character development or are you just full of shit? Like I was trying
Same.
to debate that, you know? And then meanwhile, Danny, this stupid little fucker, runs off, right? So then they all have to look for this kid. Like, of course the kid does something stupid. That's why you should have just left him in the fucking mine shaft. You know what I mean? So Geraldine is looks in a room and so they're all kind of spread out to find Danny, right? So Geraldine goes into this one room and she hears the voice of the collector. And his voice here, it's like velvet. It's just very like it's seductive and masculine and like, very sensual.
He's trying to seduce her.
He's trying to seduce her, yes. And we see this sort of like fantasy she's in. We see these amazing photos of her, basically that he's going to give her all the success that she's always wanted. And there's this big photo of herself that I think it might be in black and white. It's just this gorgeous photo of her on the
Mhm.
wall and she's moving towards it and she's reaching her hand out for it. And the collector tells her that if she sticks with Breaker, then she's going to be dead just like Breaker. And then he shows her like what would you call a hallucination or a fantasy, let's say, of Breaker being like eaten alive by demons.
It's
And
gnarly.
it's super gnarly. It's really gross. It's like outside her window. And the collector is basically like, if you let me in, I won't do that to him. Just let me in and I'll actually, sorry. He tells her, just let me in and I'll let you go. I'll let you
Yes.
go because she's basically, she doesn't want, he tells her like, you don't have to turn into an ugly little demon. Like, I'll just let you go. Right. And he goes on to tell her she's so beautiful and he can make it so that she stays beautiful forever. And he kisses her hand and basically says, do we have a deal? And our girl looks him in the eye and fucking spits on him. Yes, girl.
I know some people that would like that.
That is
I
true.
also know some people who would probably take that deal at the expense of all humankind. Like, oh, wait, I can stay pretty forever? Sold.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. For sure.
But he frees her for now. So she's broken from the hallucination. She goes back to the group, but she's clearly shook. She's like sweating.
I thought she was in a trance here. I thought she was just
Maybe,
totally in a trance.
maybe. By the way, Irene is fighting with them with her arm severed off. Like she's been drinking vodka and it's kicking in. So she is just walking around one arm managing. She's not just like, oh, help me, you know? I
No,
was like,
Irene's a
holy shit.
badass. She's
Yes.
awesome. Yeah.
She ends up with Willie in the attic with Danny. So Danny is hiding in the attic. He's reading comics. He's actually reading a Tales from the Crypt comic. Willie is drinking the vodka now, and Willie ends up going into a room. He walks into a room,
Mhm.
and now the collector is showing him his paradise, which is a bar full of topless women who are all over him.
Right. And Danny is watching this like, what the fuck is going on? Because in Danny's eyes, it's not like that.
Right.
It's just, it's Uncle Willie walking through, and it just looks like he's looking around at an empty room and like shaking his hips. And, but he approaches the bar and I know this is what made you sad, right?
His face.
His face. He gets up to the bar, and the collector, of course, is behind the bar being all charismatic. He's, popping bottles, pouring drinks, right?
Like,
And
have
he
another
hands
one.
Willie, yeah, and he's having like a good time, right?
Yeah.
He hands Willie a glass, and you can see this like him go through all these emotions on his face.
Yes.
And it's really sad.
Yes, I was like, "Why is this making me sad?" He has all these topless women all over him, like, "Drink, Willie, drink." And yeah, the collector's the bartender. "Have another one, have another one." And there's something about it's like they're shooting from a higher POV, right? So he's
Mhm.
looking up at the camera and he looks so he's taking the drinks, but he looks like he's weighing, like, should I do that? Should I not? But there's something about his eyes. There's something about old people being sad. I will fucking cry. I can't.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you can see the loneliness in his eyes here.
Yes.
It's
Oh my
just
gosh.
pure loneliness.
I feel like it's making me sad right now. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Well, it's, you're because you're compassionate and you're seeing somebody's loneliness
Yeah.
and them choosing the wrong thing because of that loneliness.
Yeah.
It's sad
And
and it
almost
happens all the
like
time.
the hesitation in it too, I
Yeah.
think was what was getting me. Oh,
And
fuck.
and
Okay.
and that it lost, like he lost that battle right there. And
Yes.
we witnessed it, right? And that's
Yeah.
sad, you know?
So Irene and Bob are in the attic now. They find a chest of Wally's, which is full of guns, and a note to Cordelia explaining how he was going to take out the whole post office, which
Which
go
did
ahead.
you research this? Because I researched. This is a direct reference to like the workplace shootings that were happening in at the postal office, and that's what led to the term going postal.
Yes. So I knew going postal was because of that. I meant to look up the year it happened, so I'm glad that you did. I assumed that had to be a reference to that.
For sure, this was during the late 80s, early 90s that this was happening at the post office.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so Bob mentions, well, he didn't have any bullets to do it. However, then they find a bunch of grenades.
Yo, that was crazy. I didn't piece it all together at first, and I just wrote in my notes, I guess Wally really would have done anything for Cordelia. But I was like, why would he blow up the post office for her? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Frank or Breaker and Geraldine go to check on Willie, who definitely took the deal, and he
Mhm.
is now a demon. And he
Yeah.
starts choking Breaker. Geraldine is going into a flashback here of seeing Breaker being eaten, so she's kind of like in that trance. And the collector tries to entice Irene in this moment.
Mhm.
Uh, we're kind of cutting back and forth by offering her arm back. She
Mhm.
says no, of course.
Mhm.
Geraldine does not want to kill Willie. She has a knife, and I feel like her reaction was so genuine. It's like she's never killed anyone. She was so scared. She's like, please don't make me do this.
So meanwhile, Roach is downstairs and he has the key. Okay. I couldn't figure that out. Why does he have the key?
When he shook Breaker's hand, he took the key. That's
Got it.
exactly
Okay.
what he did, was a fucking scheme, of course.
Okay. I definitely did not catch that. So now he has the key, and all of a sudden, the collector shows up. Okay. But the collector, like, if you guys remember, they're upstairs and the demons and the collector can't get past up the top of the stairs.
Yeah, because it's sealed.
It's sealed. Exactly. Right. So then we go back to Willie and Jerry Lynn. I keep wanting to call her
Jerry Lynn,
Jerry Lynn because of Jerry Lynn.
because Jerry
Because
Lynn
we
is a
love
fucking icon and we love him.
we love him. We love Jerry Lynn. So Geraldine, right,
Yeah.
is up there with Willie. Breaker manages to cut Willie's head off. Um, but but Willie's still alive, and his headless body starts fighting with Breaker, right? And Breaker tells him he needs to get him in the eyes because Danny I think Danny grabs something.
He grabs
I
his
think he
head.
throws he throws a blanket or something over
Oh,
Willie's head so Willie can't see. And then Danny picks up the head and stabs the eyes out, which eventually now kills Willie.
yeah, he throws the head on a set of antlers.
Oh yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Very,
Yes.
what is the movie we just covered where he puts the body on the antlers?
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So he destroys the eyes. Now back with Roach, he is telling the collector he doesn't care if the collector kills the others. That's fine. He just
Right.
wants to give him the key. He wants to make a deal so he can escape, and he's only worried about himself. So the collector gives Roach a sponge, which he brings out of his mouth.
Okay, can I give you a tidbit about
Yes.
it? So they came up with that on the spot. Billy Zane came up with it, and he was like, I need a sponge. Someone get me a sponge. So they get him a sponge. He stuffs the whole sponge in his mouth. It was like a gag. And then when they, said action, he pulled the sponge. This was not CG. That was a real sponge.
Yeah.
And it only took a couple takes. I think they did it 1 or 2 takes. But that was something that was like, what I was saying about improvisation is like there was so many moments like that where they were just figuring things out on the fly. And, Dickerson was like open to them just coming up with things and, really let them explore their characters. And it just sounds like a really bomb ass set. And I
Yes.
guess like everything was shot indoors in like an old like I don't know, hangar, like a big empty hangar.
Okay.
And so at first, when you read the script, it's like, oh shit, we're gonna be doing so many nights. No, because everything was filmed inside, they could have like a regular like schedule. So they weren't shooting overnight. They were shooting like, 7 to whatever
Nice.
the fucking schedule is. But yeah, so it just sounds like it was a good experience on set.
Yeah, I love that. I
Mhm,
love a
mhm.
collaborative effort, and when you know you have a cast that you can trust and you
Dude,
can just let them do their thing and you know it's gonna be great, that has to be awesome.
agreed. Yeah.
So he gives Roach the sponge so he can basically wipe away that seal that's on the stairs. So
Mhm.
Roach does it. He places the key in the suitcase. As he's leaving, he says "Vaya con Dios," which is it's an expression, but in Spanish it means "go with God." And
Oh.
then or not Breaker, sorry, the collector says, "Yeah, Vaya con Diablos to you too," which means "go with devils."
Oh, that's great.
And so he goes, "Oh, one more thing, Roach.
Mhm.
I lied." And then Roach gets eaten by a bunch of fucking demons. Idiot.
Yeah, he's so, so, so stupid.
And now the demons have free reign. But then, boom, an arrow goes right through the collector's eye. This caught me off guard.
Yeah,
He
me
falls over
too.
the balcony to the first floor. And I was like, well, he shot him in the eye. He has to be dead, right? He's not.
Mm-mm.
Breaker does get the key back. Irene is putting on the grenades here like a necklace. I'm like, girl, don't do it. Don't
I
do it.
know. Don't do it.
But we'll see what happens. Geraldine is still making sure Cleo comes with them, which I appreciate.
Mhm.
And everyone's going to the attic while the demons are approaching. Now, Irene and Bob don't go up in the attic. They sacrifice themselves with their grenades,
Dude. Dude,
which,
they hold each other as the demons come for them. It's so
yes,
scary.
it's such a selfless act. But also, there was a part of me that was like, why didn't you just throw the grenades at them? Like, why didn't you just go in the attic and then drop their grenades? You didn't have to die.
I really don't know.
That's how I
But
felt. But, and also, why
yeah,
did both of them have to die? You know?
agree.
I'd be like,
Agreed.
Bob, you do it. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Bob. Have a field day. But yeah, either way, Bob does have a good heart. Irene, total badass, right?
Absolutely. Mhm.
Danny is reading that comic once again up in the attic, but now one of the zombie demons in the comic, their eyes turn to real human eyes. The collector's eyes. I was about to say Billy Zane's eyes.
Uh,
Meanwhile, Breaker put some of the blood on Geraldine, who was annoyed that he did this, like, oh, you don't trust me type of thing.
right.
But she's good. She's not possessed. She uses it to steal a window. And then Breaker tells her, you need to take the key. You are the one.
Yeah.
Danny interrupts. Can I have it? He's possessed. The practical effects that they use on Danny, holy shit.
Yeah, it's wild.
You have to, like, you have to watch this movie. I'm forcing you to do
Mhm.
it, by the way.
Mhm.
But just you have to look at the effects on each of these. Like when Cordelia's possessed, when Danny's possessed, they're nuts. They're so good.
Yeah.
He ends up clawing at Breaker's stomach. As this is happening, the comic starts flipping and it's like showing us what's happening. And then we go to like the real scene of it happening. So we see like Danny looking crazy in the comic. And then we go to the practical effect of it and it looks even crazier.
Yeah.
He has this long ass tongue going into Frank's body, which just too intrusive. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yuck. Yuck. Mhm.
Ugh. And then Geraldine straight up drop kicks Danny through a window.
It was wicked, dude. I popped huge for the
Me
drop kick.
too.
Yep.
I was like, wrestling move in the movie. Yes.
Hell yes. But then he kind of evaporates when he gets thrown outside. Is it because he goes through the seal or something?
Possibly. She might have kicked him
Yeah.
through the seal because I imagine
Yeah.
they sealed those windows.
Yeah. Okay.
But Breaker is now badly injured, and Geraldine is telling him, I'm not the right person for this type of shit. I can't do this.
Yeah.
And uh, Breaker tells her to give him her hand.
Mhm.
She does do it. He puts the key in her hand, and now she's seeing everything that happened before as well.
Mhm. And he
The
pours some of
stars
his
appear.
blood into it as well. He
Yes.
pours his blood into the key.
The stars start to appear in her hand, and they're in the center. They're not in the circle, but he tells her when they align in the circle, that's when it's time to fight, which is also fucking terrifying.
So scary.
He says it could be in a lifetime, it could be in several, and then he
Dude.
dies.
Oh, and when he died, it was so sad. It was
It
so
was sad.
sad. I
And
didn't want him
also,
to die at all.
I know, I did not think he was going to.
No.
Imagine that being put on you, though. That responsibility for him, for because he was a soldier in the war in World War One, and this was just put upon him, thrust
I mean,
upon him.
I
And
get
now
stressed out when, like, everyday things get thrusted upon me. I can't imagine if, like, the fate of the world was thrusted on
I
me.
get stressed out just having to show up on time for things. Like, now I have to
Right.
save the world, what the fuck? But that's a lot of responsibility. But Geraldine, even though she's hesitant and she's like, "I'm not the right person for this," she had a hard life, and
Mhm.
she thinks like, "No, not me. Like, I'm not the type." But it's her. She is the chosen one. You
Mhm.
are the one, girl. And so all the seals fade now. I'm assuming because now it's like reset or something,
I think so, yeah, I think you're
right?
right, I think it's reset, yeah.
And the collector rises into the attic. He sees that Breaker's dead, but he knows that Geraldine is still there, and he's trying to convince her, just pour the blood out, save yourself years of running.
I love the glasses that he's wearing right now, they're, like, so out of place.
Yeah, like, where did you even get those?
Yeah.
She comes out from behind some boxes. She is covered in blood from head to toe.
She looks
It's
wicked.
from the amulet, but he thinks that it's just her blood because, there's explosions and shit going on. And she goes to reach out for him. He takes her hand and it burns him.
Mhm.
So smart. And she can't seal any of the doors now, but they also can't touch her for now,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
was really smart. Now she's walking around the house. The collector uses a shower curtain, which is also really smart, to grab her, throw her into the tub next to the sheriff's body and head, by the way,
Dude.
turns
Dude.
on the water,
Yep, it's wild.
starts rinsing her off.
It's made me so uncomfortable. Yo, he, like, starts to wash the blood off while she's screaming. Like, she is screaming, and I'm wondering if it was, like, super hot water because she was, like, it sounded very distressing.
Yeah.
She stabs the collector in the eye, but it's not doing anything. Like, he starts laughing, and he tells her that the eyeball shit only works on low-level demons.
And that's why the arrow didn't kill him. I was like, oh, okay, you explained it. Thank you.
Exactly. Now, when he wraps her body in the shower curtain. He she looks like she's in bubble wrap. He drags her down the stairs like she's in a cocoon of like it's wrapped tight.
Yeah.
And it's just like she's hitting every step on the way down.
Boom, boom, boom. You see her
Yes.
body.
Like I thought it was hilarious. It's
Yeah.
just so funny. And he is being so charming as he's doing it. Like he's so happy.
He's
At one
talking to
point,
her.
oh, yeah, he takes the key out of her hand, she looks rough, right? He picks her up, he starts dancing with her, like, he is just
Oh my
having
gosh.
a ball.
Yeah. Also in the bathtub, when she stabs him in the eye with that key, when he's distracted, she drinks some of the blood out of the amulet. And I was like,
Okay,
at first I'm like, is she
because
trying to
her mouth
like,
stays closed this whole time, right?
yes. Her
Yeah,
mouth stays closed this entire the rest of this part.
mhm,
And so she's now on the floor in her cut off white tank top and some bikini briefs, which
mhm.
there was a part of me, once again, sometimes I hate to point these things out, but I could not notice that her shirt is pristine white after being
Oh,
covered in
yeah,
blood. That shit
of
ain't coming
course.
out just from being rinsed.
No, of course, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the outfit is hot.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Final
Sometimes
girl.
sometimes I'm no better than a man. But anyway, he picks her up off the floor, starts dancing with her, spinning her around, talking about, I would actually love for you to join me. Like maybe we could be together type thing. And
Mhm,
she's not answering. Her mouth is closed. He gets upset at this.
mhm,
Flames start shooting out of his pants and go around her. It doesn't hurt her, which I was
mhm,
wondering, oh, maybe the blood is protecting her.
mhm, I think so,
Uh,
yeah, she's protected for sure.
but he's like, oh, down boy. Like flames shooting out of his crotch. I was like, this is what it feels like when someone makes unwanted advances toward you.
Oh,
Literally.
1,000,000% yes. 100% yes is exactly it. Yes, you're just like, "Ew."
And he says, you will die, but at least we'll be together forever. And then he says, if I can't have your soul, I'll take your heart.
Oh,
And she spits the blood in his fucking face. She was holding it in since the bathtub.
oh, yeah.
The effects in this scene, his head starts like melting in half.
It's like bubbling,
It,
burning,
yes, he is like
melting.
transforming into his true self, like full demon,
Yeah,
gigantic skeletal dragon type demon with wings and everything. And then he explodes.
insane, man.
Yeah. The next morning, Geraldine fills the key with Frank's blood breaker.
Mhm,
She gets on a bus, but before it
mhm.
takes off, she seals the door with the
Smart.
blood.
Mhm.
Imagine someone seeing you do that. They're like, what are you doing?"
And at that point, you're just like, I really don't give a fuck what you
I
think. Yeah, good.
don't.
I'm crazy. Think I'm
Yeah.
crazy. It's fine.
I do hope she got the windows too, but the bus stops for someone with this hat on and a
Mhm.
trench coat and a
Mhm.
suitcase. The door opens and he goes, "No, it's okay. I'll wait for the next one." Even though he's in the middle of literally nowhere.
Mhm.
And then the bus leaves. Geraldine kind of looks at him. He starts walking down the road whistling the Tales from the Crypt theme song.
Dude.
And then off in a cemetery, we see these flowers on a grave. A decayed hand comes through the
Mhm.
dirt, grabs it,
Mhm.
pulls it all the way under. We're going under back to the Crypt Keeper,
Yes.
who I meant to mention in the beginning is voiced by John Kassir.
Amazing.
He tells us that Geraldine lived happily ever after. So according to him, she saved the world.
Yep.
He has these two women in gowns with him, and he's like, but I've got to hurry. Tonight's our big screamier. And then they show him getting out of this limo and entering a
Uh-huh.
theater, but it's actually leading to a guillotine. And he goes, I asked for final cut and I got it. And then he's beheaded.
He has no problem sacrificing himself for entertainment's sake
Oh
at
yeah,
all.
he gets beheaded all the time
All the
actually on that
time.
series.
He does all the time.
And
It's so
now his
nostalgic though. The scene is so
yeah,
nostalgic. It really
his
is.
his severed head says, "Now that's in terrortainment." And I had to look that one up. I was like, "What the fuck did he just say?" Uh, he loves a play on words. Okay,
He does.
now cue the theme over the credits, the
Ugh.
same POV through the house, but in reverse, just like they do in the TV show.
So much
The end.
serotonin just rushing through me.
The
And
end
then
of
we
the
get
movie.
to a post credit,
Yes.
which is so exciting. The Crypt Keeper pops back up after the credits and he announces his next movie, which actually doesn't happen. And I have that in
Yes.
my notes. But I thought that was kind of cute.
Yeah, Dead Easy is what he announces, which was bold because it wasn't filmed yet. But he
Mhm.
said my next movie, which I don't remember. He might have even said coming out. He might have just said soon, but either way, uh they ended up scrapping Dead Easy right before it was set to film and instead did Bordello of Blood.
Yeah,
So
and
there
Dead
was another
Easy,
movie, but it was not Dead Easy. Like he names Dead Easy in that post credit scene, which was very bold.
I thought it was very bold. The original name was Fat Tuesday, and the theme behind it was like a voodoo zombie vibe set in New Orleans during Mardi Gras. That was like the idea behind Dead
Okay, that was a
Easy.
Candyman sequel too. I don't know if it was the second or the third.
I wonder because it was like a working script that they were going to work in as a Tales from the Crypt. So maybe it was used for something else. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the end of Demon Night, y'all. It is such a fun
Yay.
movie.
I loved it so, so, so much. Like,
Yes.
I've been telling everybody to go watch it, even though I'm sure people have seen it. But if you haven't, please watch it. It's so much fun. It is just a ball to watch. It's
Yeah.
just a good time. It's a good ride.
Yes. We have Jada Pinkett Smith, aka Geraldine, not only
Mhm.
surviving, but she is the chosen one and she saves the entire world.
Yeah, and Jada Pinkett, Dickerson lobbied for her. Like he really wanted her. I guess originally the studio wanted Cameron Diaz, and
Okay.
he pushed for Jada Pinkett. I think he saw her in Menace to Society, and he really
Okay.
liked her performance. Yeah. Hmm.
Hell yeah. I saw some reports saying that she was the first Black final girl. I don't
Wow.
know that
Okay.
that's true, but she is definitely one of few, and especially for the 90s, one of few. The first
Mm-hmm.
one that I could find was actually Diana from Sugar Hill, which was in 1974.
Oh, okay. What else do we got here? Oh, Billy Zane modeled his performance after the genie from Aladdin. And when I read that, I went, oh yeah, I can totally see that, like a genie from hell. That makes total sense.
A genie from hell. Oh my gosh, he
Hmm.
is.
Oh, 100%. Yes. Hmm.
Hell yeah. I have
And
some Oh, go
what?
ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say just this is just like a funny one, but I guess when Billy Zane met with Dickerson, he brought like a not a suitcase, sorry, a briefcase with him and opened it up and started pulling wigs out and was putting different wigs on his head and was like, "Would you like him to look like this? Would you like him to look like this?" Because at the time, like bald actors, that wasn't really I don't want to say it wasn't a thing. It just wasn't as like common.
Yeah,
So Billy Zane was just very used to bringing wigs with him when he was, yeah, I guess
that makes sense. He didn't
collaborating.
want to not get the role just because they weren't seeing whatever they wanted to see, right? So he was like, "Let me show you I can do whatever."
Yeah, and I guess like James Cameron, because Billy Zane, one of his biggest roles, I would say, or most known role is Titanic, right? Like
Mhm.
I would say that's like his most well known, right? even though he's got a million credits and he's incredible. But James Cameron, I guess, saw his performance. Like, he saw him in Demon Knight and he thought that he balanced like comedy and like the menace vibes really, really well. And he was really compelling. And that kind of made him think that he would be a good fit for Cal, which is the character in Titanic.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love when that happens. That also is something that we heard in People Under the Stairs with that Roach character of
Mm-hmm.
how he was seen by someone else, Steven Spielberg in this case, I think, for with Twister, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then was picked up with another movie. I love when that happens.
No,
And
no, it's awesome.
and in Demon Knight, 100%, you watch Billy Zane's performance and you're like, oh, this is a fucking menace. You
Oh,
can be a great asshole.
and honestly, like, this is a star. Like, he is so has so much charisma.
Yes.
It's just like oozes charisma.
I
He's
was gonna say,
fantastic.
oozes charisma even before he has dialogue. When he's in the beginning police chase scene, you just his look on his face when he's walking out of the fire, you're like,
Oh, he is
okay.
fine as hell. Are you kidding me?
That might help just a little bit.
My God. Okay. This is my last little piece of
Yeah.
info. Okay. So I was trying to look up like what determines like who becomes chosen. Like, what is it, right? And I've was read a few places. People assume, or it is implied, that it's anyone that like resists the collector's advances is what kind of qualifies you to be
Okay.
a chosen one.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it could have been Irene too.
I think it could have been Irene too. Yeah. I think it's whoever, if you have this spiritual, like, I don't know. I was going to say purity, but that sounds weird. But like, if you're just like, if you're a good person and you
Yeah.
resist the temptation of the collector, you qualify potentially as someone that could be a savior. That's what I
And
read. I
there
don't know if that's true or not, but I thought that made a lot of sense.
yeah, I
Mhm.
like that. That makes sense to me too. And that
Yeah.
also goes in with the biblical theme of this,
Yes,
blood of Christ, demons, all that. Hell yeah.
exactly.
I'm gonna save the rest of what I have for Patreon Extended.
Okay.
And so please let us know what you thought about this episode, the movie. Let us know in the YouTube comments. We have social media at Chainsaw Girls Pod, TikTok and Instagram. Trying to get better at TikTok, I swear. We also have an email, chainsawgirlspod@gmail.com. And we also have a Patreon where we shout out our top tier patrons every single month. And I do have it up if you're ready.
Oh, I do too, but you go first.
You
You
go.
go. No, you go because I'd have to like
Okay.
switch screens.
Okay, we have Jason M, Jeremy M, John M, another John M, Devin C, David G, Jonathan W, Rob V, David T, Heather D, Franchise Driller, Millie C, Adrian G, Chris S, Alexis T, Adam VL, and James C. Thank you so much. We love you and we appreciate you.
Oh, we appreciate you so, 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 so much. Okay,
Okay, bye.
bye.